Yo, what's going on everybody? DJ BPlus here, and thank you for checking out another installment of the BPlus10 series. This time we'll be looking at Christon Gray. And Christon Gray is one of my favorite artists, and let me explain to you why he's one of my favorite artists, if not my favorite artist. He is 100% rapper, and he's also 100% singer. Now I say that because sometimes you have a singer and he starts rapping on his album. You're just kind of like, oh, that's nice. This singer's trying to rap a little bit. And it may not sound bad, but you can still tell that they're a singer who's rapping a little bit. And then on the flip side of that, you have sometimes a rapper who is going to dabble in singing a little bit, and they just put a little bit of reverb on their verse and put a little auto-tune, and then voila, the rapper has become singer. That's not so with Christon Gray. He is 100% both. And he's just a beast. He's just a beast. So what we're going to do in this top 10 list, we're going to look at, in particular, his top 10 features. The top 10 times that I feel like he was featured on another person's project. So I will not be including any of his work from We Live as Kings or The Elevationists because he was a part of those groups. Therefore, he's not technically featured on those songs. So without further ado, check out this list.
This is not the first time I'm far from just getting my feet wet. And this won't be the last time I tell the world about your love and they tell me I'm a reject. Oh, they look at me like a reject. Yup, don't treat me like a reject. Cause if that's how you treated my king, if for Christ's sake, all I wanna be is a reject. Give my regards. Somebody made a work of art, and I just think it's so bizarre that I'm in the picture. So for better or for worse, I'm seeking the Lord, and sometimes it's back to the drawing board. But I won't give up till I'm sure it's a perfect group. I was something on my mind, brought you this far. Just a little while, you'll hear me say, I know it was a struggle, but I love you when you made it last. You made it last. Oh, you made it last. Felt this kind of turbulence that came down on rough landings that was worse than this. The minute you choose to lose your cool temperature, it tends to burn. Them hymnals turn into her. She was full of kisses with almond eyes wrapped around her finger ribbon, say he's always mine. Put the Pumas in the cage, set the soup game up. Wendy's turned to Wolfgang Puck. Finesse, yes, hey.
Alright, let's take a closer look at 10 through 7 here, starting things off with Lecrae's Church Close mixtape with his song Rejects. I thought this was a great end to Lecrae's Church Close mixtape. It wasn't a full course, but the energy and attitude that he brought was just a perfect outro. So that's a lock at my number 10. Moving on to number 9, Sho Baraka's Talented Tith project, Cliff and Claire. Just a really great course tackling the issues that plague many of the marriages today. So I thought that was really strong. Moving on to number 8, Alex Faith. At Last, a great course. The harmonies were there. Just a great example of Christon Gray's vocal ability with this track here. Moving on to number 7, a very underrated song on a very underrated project. The name of the song is Hollywood Heist off of Dre Murray's Gold Rush and Maybe One Day. Now, Christon Gray was featured quite a bit on this particular album, but I was so happy that he got a feature on this album where he just got to show his skills off as an MC, and that's exactly what he did here. Crazy wordplay, just a really solid feature on this project.
To live is Christ, to die is gain. I ask myself, am I a slave, working for the finer things in life? 'Cause I don't ever wanna lose control, gain this world, lose my soul. So free my mind, let me go. Goodbye, goodbye.
This is the world where they left me in. And speaking of this world, it's all gonna pass away. I wrote this on the Saturday that Bernie Mac passed away. Empty feeling in my spirit, I just had to pray. Whole world scatterbrained, singing Marvin Gaye. What's going on? Well, I'm glad you came. This world, yeah, let me introduce. He taught me how to wear it well, but wear it loose. Goodbye. I say this with a tear in my eye. Some people were just destined to die. run that back. Say this one.
You told me the music in my soul, I'm losing control. You told me it'll never get better. The pleasureless pleasure, my girl. You told me the music in my soul, I'm losing control. In your world,
All right, let's keep things going with 6 through 4 here. Number 6 off of Swoop's Wake Up album, classic album by the way, with the song Dream Slave. Very introspective course, asks some tough questions, really makes you think about your life and where you're prioritizing things. So thought that was really good. And then he just had some crazy ad-libs at the end of that song. So make sure you listen to that song all the way through if you go check that one out. Moving right along, we have number 5, Say Goodbye, off of Taylor Gray's The Love Don't Last Long. I understand that this song is basically the Elevationist, but it was on Taylor Gray's project, so therefore it qualifies to make this list, and just a really, really good feature. Now obviously the two of them work very well together, but just the whole feel of this song is just excellent. And at the moment, this is one of me and my wife's favorite songs. A second it comes on, just start dancing, start moving, and Christon Gray just really hit you with a lot with this song. He's rapping, he's singing, a bomb chorus, just really did his thing on this track. Moving on to number 4, Swoop Cinema, LSD. The vibe, feel was a perfect match for Christon Gray to be a feature on this song. I couldn't think of anybody else better to play out that song. It's actually a dope music video as well, so if you want to go check that out, that makes my list at number 4, and we are heading into our top 3, so here we go.
And if black and white were full of you to rule this world, would be my dream come true. Maybe one day, maybe one day, maybe one day, maybe one day, maybe.
Time drawer. Every verse is like a journal entry. I got in the game when I was turning 15. We in a safe house and they burning with me. This a new code of ethics, better learn quickly. I am in my own lane, stuck in traffic. Tell Maya this is all for her, something happens. I ain't saving y'all from tapping like Savion. I put J in the game cause y'all been playing wrong. They say life is what you make it, so I made it.
Okay, number 3, once again, Dre Murray's Gold Rush, Maybe One Day. The track entitled Maybe One Day. Just a great song with a great subject matter. Christon Gray kills the verse. Just speaking to the dominion that we all crave, especially as men. We definitely have a problem with dominion at times, but just a great feature. The falsetto kept going higher and higher. Didn't know when it was going to end. Just a really good job on that chorus. Okay, here at number 2, a single by Jay Givens entitled Make It. Just a really good feature. Showed off his skills as an MC, really rode the beat. Him and Jay Givens just passing the verses back effortlessly. Just really showed his skill as an MC here. And a lot of times Christon Gray gets kind of placed into that mode of him just being a singer. But this song here just proves the fact that he's a great MC. And now drum roll please for the number 1 feature by Christon Gray.
Star Spangled or Bloodstain, beautiful America, which bandit gets unclaimed? The untrained eyes, blind without love. We seeing the now, but never the outcome. Murder she wrote, cause we ain't give it a savior. Nah, first we elope, then treat her like she a stranger, yeah. How we do both with our selfish behavior. He said if you love me though, love your neighbor, Lord help us. Are you afraid of the faces?
So there you have it, my number 1 song featuring Christon Gray off of Swoop's Wake Up album, Blind Eyes, in parentheses, The Good American. Now, before I get into his vocal ability and his rapping ability on this song, which is obvious, I really like this song because it's timeless. It's one of those songs that you can play at any time and it's relevant. Even though this song was written over 5 years ago, just listening to Christon Gray's first few lines, Star Spangled or Bloodstained. And I feel like that question right there is what is plaguing the body of Christ today. I feel like believers should be able to, should be somewhere in the middle. and not choosing sides. They shouldn't be 100% Democratic. They shouldn't be 100% Republican. We should be somewhere in the middle because both sides have their fingerprints on what's wrong in America, but yet we still pick sides. So really like the opening of that line, and then just the whole subject matter of the song just really hits in on some of those points. And that aside, I really feel like his feature on Blind Eyes really sums up all that he is as an artist. He's very clever when it comes to the wordplay and his bars. He's really, really good at dropping a good dynamic chorus, and then just his ad-libbing at the end of songs are just always on point, always on the money. And that really just summarizes why Christon Gray is one of my favorite artists. And I already know there's probably some songs and features that did not make the list that you thought should have made the list, so make sure you comment in the section below. I know even my wife gave me a hard time when she didn't see Champagne Music from the feature that he had on Brandon Peace album. I almost put Donuts on there from the latest Andaminio release. Christon Gray had a feature on there. It was really good, but he just didn't have a verse on there. If he would have had a verse, it probably would have made my top 10 list. So make sure you comment in this section below with some features that you felt like I might have missed out on. And last but not least, if you feel like you want more Christon Gray, you do not have to wait long because he is dropping a new project on October the 19th entitled Clear the Air. So make sure you check that out. Once again, thank you for checking out this installment of the BPlus10 series, Top 10 Christon Gray Features. And until next time, peace in and confusion out.